But we must begin to understand that in a concept of forming inside our community a united front, a black united front, which engulfs every sector, every facet, and every person inside our community working for the benefit of black people. Working for the benefit of black people.
Where does he fit? As Chokwe himself said, you know, what about Junebug? Okay. And what about George Jackson before he went in? What was he doing with this $70 robbery? And now he's an icon in our movement. You understand? When he was first arrested, he sure he would definitely not have been on any political prisoner list if, in fact, there were such organizations dealing with that. George Jackson, now that we read his literature, we reference him, you know, regularly in our work because of the work that he's put in since his incarceration. So George Jackson was Junebug. That's Junebug, $70 robbery. You understand? So we want to be able to look at these questions. We want to look at the question of the new wave, as Sister Layla pointed out from Tariq Mahana up there in Boston, of the new wave of political prisoners. And how do we address that? That's not necessarily a focus of Jericho. It may not necessarily be a focus of the Malcolm X grassroots movement. It may not necessarily be a focus of the Friends and Families of Mutulu Shakur. It may not be a focus of the Black Right. But it would be a focus of the National Confederation. You see the difference? So now we're not asking people to change their focus. You know, we're setting up an entity to enhance, you know, your focus, you know, meeting its goals and objectives, to amplify what you're doing, to strengthen what you're doing, to bring us to the same table in a structured, principled, regulated way that's going to allow us to maximize our efforts. We need this. We need this not only for the sake of political prisoners that are in jail, in the prison conditions. We need this for our own survival and growth as a movement in just the general economic and political and social conditions that exist out here in these communities. And Jericho members and Paulette and myself, we had this discussion many times, Brother Thomas and all of, you know, that we are setting up one foundation, or at least a pillar in a foundation, and there has to be many, of course, you know, where we can weather a storm that is coming. You know, if the destabilization of this country very well be, and probably will be, something that you and I had absolutely nothing to do about, with based upon our efforts to change, revolutionary change, socialized socialism, Islam, whatever the case may be, anarchy, whatever, we probably won't have anything to do with that. The big wigs, you know, those that run this country, you know, the government, those politicians, Wall Street, effing up everything, and not quite naturally, you know, things roll downhill. When it becomes destabilized, you know, what would be our position? Will we be fighting each other? Will our sisters will be getting raped like they were in the Superdome and when Katrina hit? Are we able to protect ourselves? Can I call on you? Can I rely on you? Is that network already established, right? Where Nate and I are already connected, principally and organizationally. We're there, because once it's established, we can talk about a whole lot of other things that we're not even addressing now, because it would be premature, but the mechanism is there. We need this. We need this for our own survival's sake. Because when the hillbillies come out the field, and when all these Tea Party reactionaries that have the money and the resource, they'll blow your butt off the map. Do not fool yourself. The people that are being victimized in a time of so-called peace right now, you will surely be victimized in a time of conflagration and war. This is part of the update. I want you to leave here understanding and feeling and motivated about this. Not just, okay, I signed it. Waiting to hear from you, Jihad. But you will know and understand why this is so important. Why is this so important? How can we protect ourselves? How can we build? How can we do other things? Because the issue is more than just political prisoners. We're not dealing with that in a vacuum. Jericho is designed to address the political prisoners from these movements. Another organization may be addressed to do this. Sister Bonnie deals with so much with all that information coming from the control units and the CMU so that we can understand that and address that with the parole board and highlighting and accentuating these cases. These are the focus of our organizations individually. Now we need a structure so we can be able to understand and see and support what each one is doing on a much more structured, principled basis. And we can go much further, brother. That's my speech. I know my comrade here is giving me, you kick me one more time under the table. I'm messing up my sneakers. But that's that. But I want you to know and understand that and feel that so you can share what I'm sharing with you to somebody else. They ask, well, what was it anyway? I don't know. I'm not sure. But he said, don't come off of that answer now. Because I'm beating it into the bush now. So I just want you to understand and feel the importance of what is here today and what we're doing. And starting off small. So the invitation for this will go out to those that are not here. And Rashad was talking in my room the other day that, there's an Islamic hadith, a tradition that says, we tell those that are not here because those that are not here may be better to amplify the message than we ourselves. So don't feel, that, those who are not here won't get it and really run with this. They may be the runners. So feel confident and assured to tell those comrades that could not be here because of other obligation, because it is Black August. It is Black August, and other things are happening. So we want you to feel this is what this is about. You can explain it just like Paulette and Jihad and Thomas Ruffin can explain it. You understand? So there you go. So we'll be coming at you with that. I want Salim or Brother Devin, could you bring that the 5-year plan up from the board, please? Now, this was the controversial thing. And I think today we're going to relieve the bodyguards that we had.